Welcome to the Girls Marketing Podcast, your one-stop shop for all things marketing and the perfect backing track to your workday. Every week, we get up close and personal with marketers revolutionising the industry so you can learn from the best in the game. From the latest marketing trends to building a successful marketing career, no topic is off limits. At Girls in Marketing, we champion progress, inspire change, and encourage women to take the marketing world by storm. Check out our website and membership to learn more and get involved, as we'd love to welcome you to our inner circle. Right, let's dive into another episode together. Welcome back to another episode of the Girls in Marketing podcast. It's officially season 5. I can't believe it. For those of you who might not have seen me before, I'm Olivia, founder and CEO of Girls in Marketing. To kick off the start of season 5 of the podcast, I'm going to be the one in the hot seat. I can't wait to dive into the story of Girls in Marketing and answer some questions from you guys too. We've got an exciting season planned. So if you want to be involved with future podcast episodes, make sure you follow us on Instagram at Girls in Marketing. Let's get started.
Okay, Olivia, so this is a brand new season of the Girls in Marketing podcast. But one question that we got sent in quite a lot on Instagram was, who is your favourite guest of season 4, if you can pick?
Yeah, that is... I feel like that's such a difficult question. Yeah. So many amazing conversations in season 4. A few that actually I didn't have. I love some of Amy's episodes with some guests as well. I would say I really enjoyed Grace Andrews' episode. She is marketing director for Diary of a CEO and Stephen Bartlett. And we had such a great chat on social media, and she shared some really good insights and things that she does, you know, in her role. And I absolutely love that episode. And there's just so many. I love the episodes with John Williamson from LinkedIn. That was a really good one. I think it was really insightful to understand from like an insider LinkedIn perspective how things work and kind of what they look for and stuff like that. And I also really enjoyed Fadzy's episode on influencer marketing. Oh, and I love Natalia's episode on the creator economy as well. There's so many.
All of them?
Yeah, literally all of them. I really enjoyed every episode. And there's some even in season 3 that I still think about now. But yeah, I would say, yeah, a lot of them.
All of them?
Yeah.
All of the above. So going off the back of that then, what have been like the biggest lessons that have kind of stuck with you? Because obviously you've had the opportunity to interview some amazing people in the marketing industry. What learnings would you say have stuck with you from them?
I think a big thing for me and a lot of what the guests always say is about kind of taking risks and doing things that I know it's so cringe to say, but that actually scare you. And sometimes, you know, you've got to do things, whether it's create a strategy, whether it's, you know, take a new job or whether anything, you know, sometimes you've just got to take those risks. And so many of the people that I speak to have taken those risks and then it's paid off because they've, you know, went on to do these amazing things that I think sometimes it's just about being able to take a step back and say, actually, I'm going to do this because of X, Y, Z. So I definitely think that that's a big learning and something that I do as well. But it's almost like when you hear it from other people, it's so nice to hear that that has paid off for them.
Yeah, no, definitely. And going off guests that you've enjoyed, do you have a dream podcast guest? Again, putting you on the spot here. Okay. A dream podcast guest for the Girls in Marketing podcast.
Okay, so I don't know if this is rogue or not, but I am pitching and I pitch every day Deborah Meaden. So she is a dragon on Dragon's Den. I would say one of the OG like people in business, in marketing. She's got some amazing businesses I'm like a massive fan of, and she obviously is on and has been on Dragon's Den for years. I'm a huge fan. I just feel like I'd fangirl the whole episode if she was on. But I absolutely love everything she stands for. Whenever I see her on Dragon's Den, and me and my partner always watch the episode, I'm like, one day she will be on the episode. So Deborah Meaden, if you're listening.
If you're listening, Deborah.
If you're listening, Deborah, please reply to me.
We know you listen.
I remember when I started my journey in the digital marketing world. It was filled with passion, ambition, but also a fair share of challenges. And one of the biggest was building a website that truly reflected our brand and vision. That's where Hostinger, our new podcast sponsor, comes in. Imagine this, an AI that suggests layouts, structures, and content that aligns perfectly with your brand's personality. It's like having a conversation with a seasoned marketer who just gets what you're aiming for. That's the beauty of Hostinger's website builder. It breaks down the complex process of web design into something digestible, something doable, even for those of us who aren't tech geniuses. Hostinger offers AI SEO-friendly copy, an AI logo maker that creates high-quality logos, and an AI heat map to predict user behavior. It also gives you the tools to tweak your website to echo your brand's voice, ensuring that every pixel resonates with your identity. Speed, reliability, they've got you covered. Your site won't just look good, it will run smoothly, keeping your audience engaged. So whether you're a marketer, a freelancer, working in a small business, a startup founder, or anyone looking to carve out your corner of the internet, Hostinger is your ally. Hostinger is currently having their New Year sale, where you can get your website and free domain for £2.49 a month. Plus, because you're part of our community, Hostinger has kindly offered a discount code. Head to hostinger.com/girlsinmarketing and use the code girlsinmarketing for an extra 10% discount. All right, back to our podcast episodes. And also another one is definitely Grace Beverley. It's got to be.
Yeah.
I feel like the Girls in Marketing podcast should be sponsored by Grace Beverley at this point. Definitely. Everything she stands for, everything she does, I'm all for. And I think a conversation with her around the brands that she's built, Shreddy, Tala, all of the above, I think it would be a really interesting conversation. So they're definitely like top two. There's so many people though, to be honest, it's hard to really put like people, on, and when I'm on the spot as well.
Yeah.
But they're definitely two big people that I would say I'd love to have on.
Yeah, no, definitely. So apart from Deborah and Grace, what other plans do we have for the Girls in Marketing podcast season 5?
Okay.
Any that you can share or hint?
So season 5, we are going for the stars. I want us to genuinely be like the go-to podcast for marketing. And obviously we've gotten this far and we've got so much traction, and we absolutely love doing the podcast, and we love everyone who listens, all of the feedback that we get, all of the ratings and reviews and followers, and even just messages that we get on a daily basis. Like those are the sorts of things that, keep us going. So we are heading for the stars, and with season 5, definitely. I wouldn't say it's going to be much different to season 4 in regards to like, hopefully the guests are going to get bigger and better, and, brands, people who want to get involved with us, if there's anyone out there today that you think you'd be a good guest, like, give us a message, because we're always looking for new guests, and we're hopefully getting people that cover a wide variety of areas as well. I really want to do some episodes on like non-profits and charities and that kind of marketing as well, because I think that's something that, we definitely need to cover more of. So super excited for season 5.
Yeah, no, sounds amazing. We are definitely coming for that number 1 spot.
We are.
So you said then that you are the founder and CEO of Girls in Marketing. What does that actually mean? Because I feel like a lot of people are like, I'm the founder, CEO. What does that actually mean, encompass? What do you do in your everyday? It
is such a big title for, I would say, a role that is different in every single company. So it's not, the same as it is with me and Girls in Marketing. It would not be the same as like a large, corporate company. So it is totally different. And sometimes I think maybe I want a different title. I have that kind of capability being the founder and CEO that I could say, actually, I want a different title. Because often I think it's such a big title for a role that actually I don't know. It just feels quite corporate. So I wouldn't say I'm like a massive fan of it, but I think it does incorporate everything that I do, because I very much kind of ensure the whole thing of Girls in Marketing runs smoothly. Obviously, I wouldn't be able to do it without the amazing team that we have, including yourself. But I just think like, end to end is just, project management, people management. A big thing for me, a big focus for me has been the membership that we have, our Girls in Marketing membership, and getting that to like a really good place, ensuring everything runs smoothly with that. So the title of founder is such a big title. And I wouldn't say CEO is, again, it's different for every company, but it's just something that I would say focuses a lot on like that project and people management. And it is. So my kind of day-to-day is so varied. I feel like every business person, every marketer always says every day is different, but it's so true. You know, what I tend to do is have like theme days just because there's so much to do that often I can flick between tasks and probably never get anything done. So I think with having such a broad role, I have to have those theme days to say, actually, I'm going to do this today or that. So yeah, it's a lot of everything all the time. So yeah, it changes all the time as well.
Yeah. No, anything and everything, it seems that is, that title. So we've all kind of, and people listening now have heard of Girls in Marketing in some capacity. What kind of made you start Girls in Marketing in the first place? I bet you get asked this all the time, but like, what made you actually make that move to make the community, build the community and continue with it? So
I never set out to make a business. I never set Girls in Marketing to be what it is today. I am so grateful that it is. And it's, had amazing growth and I've had so many amazing opportunities off the back of it. But the original reason was I was working full time in a role and I actually just wanted to meet more people in marketing. I wanted to showcase how accessible marketing was as an industry. I never studied marketing at university. I studied psychology and I went into marketing as a career. And actually, I realized how accessible it was. And I didn't really even know anything about marketing before, kind of going into it and learning about it, that I was just kind of in that bubble of I've never heard of it before, which I feel like is the case for a lot of people as well. So yeah, I think for me, it was very much about like, okay, how do I grow something that I want to be a part of? And there was lots of different things going on, different marketing communities, different people doing amazing things. But I wanted something that suited me at the time. So I was, a young woman in a professional career in marketing. I wanted to find people who were similar to me. I wasn't, CMO. I wasn't like a director level. And I always felt like going to these networking events, it was always people who were like so like director, CMO level. And it's really scary. And I was kind of like, how do I create something for people who it's not that scary? There's not that head of CMO level. And yeah, I decided to do that. So originally I wanted to just set up kind of like events and just like small scale stuff in Liverpool, which is where I'm from and where we're based, and maybe Manchester. And then kind of the whole COVID pandemic lockdown happened, and decided to kind of pivot online. And I think Girls in Marketing is a mixture of right place, right time, and also right energy and just consistency as well. So I think there's a lot of things that kind of helped us grow and kind of become what it is. And it's been a lot of experimentation as well. What I originally started Girls in Marketing to be isn't what it is now, but that mission and vision has grown over time, which I think is so nice. And we always look to, evolve and change that if needs be as we kind of grow and scale.
Yeah, no, definitely. And obviously Girls in Marketing this year will be turning 5. So have you got any kind of massive highlights that kind of stand out since you did start Girls in Marketing? Is there anything that springs to mind?
I don't know. It's
Again,
so difficult.
Putting you on the spot.
Yeah, it's so difficult. I've loved just growing the community and building impact. I think that's a big thing. I've loved building our team. I think having people around you when you build a business is so important. And that's something that I think I never really anticipated. I never obviously set up Girls Marketing and thought I'm going to hire a team, but it kind of just happened. And it's been amazing because it's meant that, I'm not just on my own on this journey, and it's kind of shared, and, we get to have like ideas together and be creative and all of that sort of thing. So I absolutely love that. And I love the impact as well. When we do things like our digital marketing internship program or even the membership, I speak to people all the time, and it has such an impact on people's lives that I don't know, it just genuinely blows my mind sometimes. And that's so nice because, it's something that I started off the back of needing something like this. So it's so nice to see that it has impacted people and it continues to do so. I think I couldn't pinpoint one exact moment. It's just kind of all little moments that add up together to make this feeling of just like, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I always think the best kind of communities or businesses are from that need. And Girls in Marketing is the perfect example of that, isn't it? So in the flip side of that then, what would you say has been kind of your biggest challenge or Girls in Marketing's biggest challenge on the journey so far?
I think it's knowledge of how we continue to do things in terms of like growth, definitely from a business sense, is like, how do we continue that impact? How do we continue to reach more people without it costing, millions of pounds? Because, we are a startup, we are small. How do we continue to do that? And how do we do it at our capacity? Because again, we are a small team. So I think it's how do we continue to do things we want to do at the pace we want to do them with the people that we've got. So I think that's been a huge challenge, because I think there's a lot in society, a lot, especially on the likes of LinkedIn and other social media platforms, that talks about, £1 million months and like 6-figure business owners and all this. And I think I don't really buy into that, because for me, it's about sustainable growth and it's about how do we create impact. So I think a difficult thing for me has been, how do we continue to grow as a business, continue with that impact, but also make sure that we are still where we need to be and we are doing the things that we want to do.
Yeah, no, definitely. And just off the back of that, then you mentioned LinkedIn there. I know yourself, you're quite an advocate for not posting doesn't mean you're not successful. And I know a lot of listeners listening to this can probably relate to that pressure of feeling like you have to be online all the time, especially on LinkedIn. I know I definitely feel it sometimes. What would your advice be to them people who feel like the pressure of needing to be online all the time?
So prefacing with the fact that the latter half of 2023, I was basically not on LinkedIn at all. I became somewhat of a LinkedIn lurker, I would say. I love the platform, but I was very head down in, the business, in what we were doing and the impact that we were building from a Girls in Marketing perspective. It's not always possible to be online all of the time, and you shouldn't kick yourself for it. Like, it's not the end of the world if you can't post 3 times a week on LinkedIn or you can't post every day on TikTok. It's not a big deal. I think only doing it when you enjoy doing it is essential, especially even if you are trying to build a brand for yourself, whether it's a personal brand or a company brand. I think it's so essential for you to be bought into that mission and vision and where you want to go than, forcing yourself all the time to be consistent. And I think that for a while, especially the first half of 2023, I was kind of like, not necessarily forcing, but I was pushing myself to post all the time, to create content that was different. And it just kind of got boring. And I was just like, I'm not feeling this. Like, this isn't necessarily me. So I decided to just take a step back. And something I'm really trying to do in 2024 is just be more consistently like quality led. So making sure that even though if I am posting once a week or twice a week, that it's always in line with everything that I am about, because I just feel like I loved posting in 2023, kind of the first half of the year, but it did get so overwhelming, and you shouldn't kick yourself and say, why aren't I posting if you can't? It's always gonna ebb and flow at the end of the day. And there are people out there who make a living from their personal brands. And if you do, then obviously there's a bit more pressure there to, consistently show up. But if you don't, and it's just a side thing, or it's something you're doing to boost, your career or your business, I wouldn't worry too much about it. I'd just put yourself first and make sure that when you are creating content, it's the sort of content that you enjoy creating.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think a lot of people listening will be able to relate to that kind of pressure. So if you could go back into Olivia in 2019, just before you started Girls in Marketing, what advice, if any, would you give to 2019 Olivia?
You know what? I feel like I've heard someone say this before, but I agree with it. I don't think I would say anything, because I think everything that I've done, cringe, I can't even handle myself. Everything I've done has led me to where we are now. don't get me wrong, like there's been, mistakes, there's been things that have happened, but I wouldn't change anything. And I think by giving advice to, 2018, 2019 Olivia, it would change things. So I probably, wouldn't say anything. I know that sounds a bit cringe, but I think it wouldn't be worth it because I've learned so much in everything that I've done that actually it's led us to where we are now.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, you only learn from your experiences, don't you? Mm-hmm. So for anyone listening who is wondering what's coming for Girls in Marketing next,
okay,
I know there's big plans. Mm-hmm. Can you share any big plans with our podcast listeners? Or
yeah, there's genuinely so many amazing things happening this year. I'm very excited. A lot of it is under wraps at the moment. We definitely want to do in-person events again. It's something that we tried out and we did do. But again, I know I've kind of already talked about it, but we are only a small team and in-person events are a big deal. They take a lot of work. And whilst we love doing them, it's not where our primary community is. So something that we want to do is do some more in-person events. I'm not going to say we're going to do loads of them, but we're just going to do the ones that we do and we're going to do them really, really well. So yeah, keep an eye out on socials and stuff for anything that's coming about in-person events. Obviously, Girls in Marketing turns 5 this year, so I'm not going to say any hints, but potentially that could maybe be something. And yeah, I think other things we want to do is just, again, create more impact and do as much as we can, continue to grow our membership with more people and amazing people from different industries as well. We want to collaborate with more people and we want to grow the podcast. So lots of exciting stuff. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of the Girls in Marketing podcast. Season 5 starts next week with a brand new team episode. So tune in then.